Alright, what's up? It's Cypher Garage. This is going to be a two-part video. I'm going to finally be getting back to the 2.5 RS. I'm going to pull the auto trans and we're going to manual swap it. I have a 2002 STI JDM transmission, 6-speed that's going to be going into this. And yeah, we're going to start with taking off the tires, but I'm going to probably do this part one pretty fast because I've already uploaded a video about pulling a whole trans. If you haven't seen it, check out my channel and it'll have that on there when I pulled my trans to do the sensor. But yeah, we're going to start with the tires and then I'll show you what I've kind of already started it up top, disconnecting all the trans connections and everything. But yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so yeah, we're going to start with pulling off the tires. I'm going to do this one and then we'll skip the other ones. Alright. Alright, so now I'm going to pull the axle nuts. I got my 32 on there. I'm also going to be doing a video about these teen springs that I'm going to be installing, but that'll be another video if you're just there for now. But I'm going to make two videos, but not going to do it in the same video. So pull all the axle nuts. There's one, leave that there. They're a little bit rusted on there. This car has never been taken apart. And yeah. Number 3. Number 4. Alright, now I'm going to lower the car and show you guys what I did up top. Alright, so obviously this is going to be different than taking out a manual trans. I've already removed the intake and everything. It's just a simple box that sits here, bolts here, and then you have the clamp that screws onto your intake. And so I've already removed the bolt for the dog bone and loosened the backside here. So your connectors are going to be this one, which sits in here, which is an engine connector. And then there is another connectors over here. Sorry, that's not the engine connector. These are the two engine connectors. And this is your neutral switch, rear lights. Yeah, that's about it, because the rest of your transmission information goes through these two, which I'll undo in a little bit. But these are your two engine connectors that come out on the left side here. Got a brown one, a silver one. And obviously when I switch to the WRX, the connectors will then come out of the fender here and connect here. But for now you got a lot of space and it's all pretty simple. So that's disconnected. And then you have your belt housing bolts again. Again, if you need a fresh up and a better video on this, I have a video on my channel where I took apart a manual trans. So you have one belt housing bolt here on the starter that I've taken apart, up top here, and then there's two more that go down the side, and then two more that go down the side the other way. But I'll have to show you those when I get underneath the car. There is also a ground that goes to your transmission. It's a 10 mil, it sits up here. That's already done, right there. And cruise control, which I've already undone, which sits over here. You just unbolt it, pull it over. I'm probably going to delete that because that's where the turbo is going to go. And yeah, we're getting down to it. So the axle nuts are off. I'm probably going to go down and take off the exhaust now, which is pretty easy for me because I only have half my exhaust on right now. It's kind of loud. I need to fix it. Yeah, let's get underneath, see what's up. Alright, actually before I go underneath, I'm going to take off two of these easily accessible bell housing bolts. So there's one right here. Actually that's already loose, so I'll go to this one. Down lower. Crack that one loose. Switch over to my ratchet, power ratchet. This will take them off faster. I don't know if I can reach that one with this. Yeah, I can actually, if you can see that. And there's that one. Alright, now we'll go underneath. I didn't get that, did I? This one won't stop recording. Alright, hopping underneath here, you have these exhaust bolts, which are all 14s, which I've broken already because I tried taking this off before. And then that's my half exhaust, which is pretty shitty looking, but you know, once it's upgraded to a WX, it's going to have the WX exhaust. So I'm not really too worried about it. It's just to move it around. So yeah, you're going to put a 14 up to that. And take those off. Sometimes you'll get a stud, sometimes you'll get a bolt. See, like that's a stud right there. And that's a bolt. Sorry, not a bolt. And this side, I'll try to catch it, and then I'll pause the video to pull it down. Stud. Nut. And that one I broke. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's just gonna hang there because I have it wired up. All right, so I'm gonna take that down. It's gonna be hard to get on video, but you know, you just drop your exhaust. You might need 2 people for this. And I'll be right back, and then we'll do the axles. All right, so yeah, that was my half exhaust. That used to be a good video pipe, but I broke it. So it is what it is. Now we're moving on to the axles. So we have these pins here, one on each side. You gotta punch them through. So I'm gonna go grab my punch, and then we'll be right back to do this. All right, so I'm gonna give you a close up on when you gotta punch out. I got my punch right here. So those pins right there. Now this is only if you have like, I forget when they switched it, maybe 2004 they switched to female connections. Right now these axles are, sorry, when they switched to male connections in 2004, these ends of the axles are female. So there's actually a little axle post right there that comes out of the transmission. So yeah, those got to be punched out. Otherwise they got to be just popped out if you're 2004 and up. Yeah, so I'm gonna punch those out. I'll try to get a good video of this, but I have a new angle where I'm wearing a head brace to wear the camera. I think it's a better point of view, but we shall see. Alright, so yeah, I punched them out. This is what the little pin looks like. So put that on the ground, and then you're just gonna take a little pry bar or whatever you have and just gently pry against it and they'll just move right out, just like that. You can see that space that was made. Just like that. Yep. Same on the other side. Just gently go against the casing. Oh. These ones do not move as far as the WRX ones, so I might need to apply a little pressure to get these off of here. Or turning the steering wheel, that might do it too. But I'll be right back once I figure it out. And then I'll let you guys know. Alright, so I guess the axles on automatic might be a little longer. I thought they would be the same as a manual transmission, because when I take this off on my 2002, you can just pull those straight off. Maybe you can and they're just seized a little bit, but since I'm changing the shocks anyway, I'm just going to break these bolts off. Actually, I'm going to mark these bolts first with marker and tapping them with a punch just so I know where the camber is. I'm going to get in alignment anyway, but this is just how I'm going to have to do it for now. Alright, so yeah, I had to break off these camber bolts and then pull the hubs away. Not sure. I don't know if the automatic axles are longer, but it's probably just these because this car has never been taken apart. And then, yeah. And then I got the axles just pull off. So this is what they should just do. I had to make more room. But I'm also just changing the shocks anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter. Now, I can just tap the axles out. Let me just look for my hammer. Alright, so yeah, I got my hammer. And I'll just take the ball peen. Okay. Alright, so I ran into a little bit of trouble yesterday with this axle, and I kind of got mad and then just stopped filming. So the automatic transmission is gone, whole drivetrain is gone. I have another video on it. The only difference is when you get to the flex plate, that you gotta pop a cover off from the engine side and then take out these 4 bolts. And really that's it, and then the transmission will just fall, other than undoing the harness that goes there. And yeah, so pretty much I cleaned up a little. It's not, gorgeous now, but I set everything up. I got the drive shaft, the R180 diff back there, of course the 6-speed. Got my shocks, my axles, tools. But yeah, so probably gonna make. So yeah, I'm gonna be throwing the 6-speed in here, and I'm gonna try not to take any breaks with this one or forget to film anything. It really wasn't much. I just kind of dropped the tranny out, and you got to disconnect the auto shifter, but I'll still show you how to take apart the shifter from the inside, get off the flex plate, which is the same thing as taking off the flywheel, except you got to get longer bolts, which I have here, and then we got to mount the clutch up there. I'm going to be using a 5-speed clutch for now, just to kind of mock it up and get it in there and moving. Yeah, let me show you this axle deal. So yeah, we had it here, we heated it with a little torch. We didn't use like an acetylene torch, but literally had this thing cranking. It bent this plate of metal right here, and it still hasn't budged. It just mushroomed the end of the axle, so gotta wait to get a acetylene torch and try cranking it out again. Otherwise I gotta get a new hub. Never had that happen. Every other axle came out fine. Yeah, so let's get to it. Probably gonna start with the flex plate and clutch. So I'm gonna set up a light and get underneath there.